Shorty, it's my birthday. Well, it's actually one of my birthdays because I was born on leap year, so as a result, sometimes my birthday is the 28th and the 1st, but otherwise, yes, my birthday is normally February 29th. Yes, I never age. I'm like Benjamin Button. And just to quickly address the elephant in the room, why do I have this on my head? What I have learned is in doing my makeup is that for some reason I get makeup all in my hair because my hair is like moving and it falls forward and whatnot. And you might say, well, why don't you just do a band or something? So I curled my hair because of my birthday. And so as a result, it's really curly. And if I put like a band, it's gonna mess up the curls. So I wanna keep the curls and I wanna keep the volume. So as a result, you know, I put it all here and then I'll take it off and you'll see it and you'll be like, wow, Adriel, the curls are great. I'll be like, yeah, thanks. Took me like 2 hours to get it straight, but you know, whatever. So one of the things though that I wanted to share with you is something interesting that was happening last night at my party. So when we got to the restaurant, there really were not that many people there, but there were like 2 tables that there were like 2 tables of people, like two-person tables that were sitting across from our big table, and then there was a table of clearly people who like come to this restaurant all the time or maybe like work there or owners or whatever that was like in the corner kind of to our right. And so that was, you know, that was cool, that was fine. So one of the things about the French is they're always like, Americans are so loud. You guys are so loud, you're so loud, you're so loud. And so basically anytime you're with some people and you're speaking English, they assume everybody is an American merely by the fact that you're all speaking English. And the thing is, they talk about Americans being so loud, and yet at the same time, French people will be screaming in the streets all the time. They'll be screaming at each other, they'll just be screaming. They're always like these like, as far like what I like to call meltdown moments, okay, that are always happening, you know, in France, and they're always just like so much screaming. So to me, you know, I don't get it. Like, how can you sit up and say other people are loud when in your culture people are just always, you know, screaming for one reason or another? One of the things that was super funny was, of course, I am an American. We speak very loudly. Americans are very loud. I will tell you that. But here's the thing. I have done my best living here to learn how to regulate my volume. And yet I'm still loud. I'm still louder than everybody else. And to me, I'm practically whispering, but I am definitely probably one of the loudest people in the room. And so when I'm talking, at one point, there are these guys, and the other tables are not the owner table that's like over here, but the other tables that are across from our table, like they keep turning around and looking at us. And I'm looking at them, and they're looking at us. And I can tell they're annoyed because they think we're loud, they think we're speaking loudly, particularly me. And you could tell that they wanted to say something. Like this is one of the things French people do when they want to say something to you, is very often they will do this thing where they're constantly turning around and looking at you, and they kind of want to say something and they're trying to assess whether or not they should say something. But because the table is filling up with like half men and half women, it's very obvious that they are less likely to get into it with other, you know, men, right? If it had just been us women, these guys would have definitely said something, okay? Why is it every time I do my makeup, I always end up with a glob right there? Like, what is wrong with me? What is going on? As if mascara is the one thing I always have put on. Like, good grief. So anyway, so I can tell they're sizing us up. They're trying to figure out if they want to say something. But then one of my other friends walks in, and he's huge. He's a giant. And so they just finally, they've all finally turned around and they like decide not to say anything. But I just think that that is something that is so incredibly funny and interesting about their culture, because this table of French people over here are being super, super loud, and yet our table of just English speakers, not even all Americans, right? Like, for the most part, I am the only American in my friend group. So we're not Americans, it's just English speakers. Yeah, all of them, the French people speaking loudly, that's okay. But us English speakers speaking loudly, oh, that's a problem. And I'll never forget, you know, shortly after moving to Paris, I ended up going to a birthday party for my friend's sister's boyfriend, and he is French. She is also French. She's half French, half Puerto Rican, I believe, and so is her sister, right? They're both half French, half Puerto Rican. Their whole family is, you know, French and whatever, but it was this birthday party. We're outside, we're at a restaurant, because at that time you weren't allowed to be inside, and it was a mix of French people there, a mix of Americans there. It was a very, like, multicultural dinner. And there's this table of all French people that is, you know, across from us, you know, on this outdoor, you know, patio area, because at that time everything was outdoor tables. So there's this other large French group of, like, let's say 5 people, and they're like over across from us, and they're being, you know, loud and boisterous, and we're being loud and boisterous because it's a birthday party and it's like 10 of us, and everything's going fine. And then one French person, I guess, in the group was nominated, because remember how I said if everyone's speaking English, they assume that you're not French, and it's like a problem for you to be loud as an English speaker. It is not a problem for them to be loud as French speakers. So this guy, I guess the one who has the best English, is nominated to come over to the table and tell the one person at the table who is super quiet and super shy that, you know, it would be better if you guys could be a little bit quieter and have, you know, because you are too loud. Maybe if you spent more time drinking and eating, you wouldn't have time to be so loud. Honey, when I tell you that table of French people hit the roof, because the thing is the funny thing is the person he said it to, as I said, was the only other American there, and also he was the only one who was very quiet and also didn't really speak French very well. And so when this guy said this, when I tell you, so his wife was there, and his wife is Canadian, and she speaks French flawlessly. When I tell you the whole table erupted in a thorough telling off of that man in French, it was like, ah! He didn't expect that. He thought everybody at the table was just English-speaking Americans because all they heard was English, so they assume it's Americans. So when now all of a sudden it's like 8 French people cursing him out in French, you know, 1 Canadian and then like 1 American, and we're all going off on him, and the guy who he told it to is just sitting there quietly because now we're all screaming in French. It was so funny. That man, when I tell you he backed, that young man, when I tell you he backed down, he went and sat back at that table with those other French people and he didn't come over and say anything else. But I just think it's something that is super interesting culturally about France, is how if you're speaking English, they assume you're American, and if you are, and it's unacceptable for you to be loud if you're speaking English, but it's okay for them to be loud and scream and whatever else in France. All right, so makeup look is done. Lips came out great. I'll also show you, let me show you my hair, and then I'll show you everything that I used. Okay, so I pin curl my hair. That's how I maintain my curls. So, and pin curling your hair is super important if you want to maintain your curls. Like, it's just so curly. I absolutely Love it. And then for like all my makeup stuff, I'm always doing something different, but for my base, I use this Typology tinted serum, which I've talked about. And I actually, in the summer, I mix two, but in the winter and fall and spring, I really generally just only do one because my skin is lighter. And then I'm using their concealer, which is the type 3. So it's taken me a moment to figure out how to use concealer, but I just like it because I like the caffeine. I like the fact that this stuff isn't just, it's not makeup. It's like more skincare, but with a makeup edge. I really like that because I'm all about kind of skincare more. And then I also currently use their mascara because I'm trying to really nourish my lashes. I actually have another product that I put on my lashes every single night that like helps with your lashes. And I'm currently using their eyebrow stuff. And yeah, the eyebrow stuff is like a new addition to my routine. And by new, I mean as of like last year. And then my lipstick color is this Dior, which I'm obsessed with. It is the Dior, it's Rouge Dior 999 Velvet. This stuff, I love this color. Look at how pretty it is. So that's huge. And then for my blush, I use the Kosas blush, and I use the Color and Light Pressed, and this is the high intensity. So this is my favorite one. And I like it because it's really buildable. Like the color, you can make it so it feels like it's a lot more on your face or like it's less on your face, right? So you can really build it and play with it. And so with that said, I hope that you have enjoyed this video. So for this week's little adventure, I am going to take you to the exhibition at the Louvre, the fashion exhibition that is happening at the Louvre right now. It is the very first time there's ever been a fashion exhibition at the Louvre, so it's really huge. It's something that's very different. I am going to show you as much of the exhibit as I could kind of make it through. I will say that I really did not enjoy the way that they laid out the garments, okay? What they did, and you'll kind of see it, is that I think very much the clothes get lost in the vastness of the space. They also have spread this exhibit out over a wing that is so large that I literally was kind of like, in 2 hours, I did not make it to the end. So as a result, I feel a certain kind of way about this exhibit. I'm not gonna lie. I think that the clothes are beautiful, but I think that the presentation and organization of the exhibit is somewhat chaotic. Also, there were parts of the exhibit that were blocked off, like you couldn't access those, and I just also thought like that's a little bit weird. Why have some of the clothing that you can't access. And also it was very hard to figure out where there were clothes because it's such a vast section the clothes are spread out across. You're looking in like side rooms to figure out, okay, well, where more clothing? You're kind of trying to track all the numbers to find out, did I miss something? And there were parts where I missed something. And as I said, in 2 hours, I wasn't able to see the whole exhibit. The Louvre closed and they were like, you have to leave. So then I had to go back. And when I went back, I was able to see more, but it was just, I don't know. I just was kind of frustrated by the exhibition. As someone who loves going to fashion exhibitions and loves to show them to you, I just think there was a better way of doing it. So yeah, that's just how I feel. That's my opinion. You can take it, you can leave it. Anyway, I will leave you with the clothes. I'm gonna show you kind of what I mean as far as the vastness of it, and then I'll get in, up close, alternating between vastness and actual clothing. So I hope you enjoy getting to see some of this. This is the first time that the Louvre has ever done this. They're trying to, I think, kind of imitate the Met Gala. I've seen many a Met exhibition, and yeah, those were on point. This is this could be better. So anyway, maybe I missed my calling. Maybe I should have been a fashion museum curator. Is that a job? I don't know. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy getting to see the fashion from the Louvre exhibition. The fashion, though, is beautiful. Take care, stay safe, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!